Good day, children. Today in this video, we'll be learning the grammar lessons for the chapter A Truly Beautiful Mind, in which we'll be learning the participial phrases. And we will also learn to form a sentence using participial phrases with punctuations. Okay, now let's get started. Participial phrases. Now, read the following sentences. The crying baby had a wet diaper. The burning log fell on the fire. Smiling, she hugged the panting dog. Panting is like breathing in and out very fastly. Okay? Einstein became a gifted amateur violinist, maintaining his skill throughout his life. Okay, what do you mean by amateur? A non-professionalist. Okay? So, crying is the participial phrase here. Next, burning. Next, panting. Next, maintaining. Okay, now let's see what is a participial phrase. Now, what is a participial phrase, children? A participial phrase is a group of words consisting of a participle and the modifiers and or pronouns or noun phrase that function as a direct object. You all know what is direct object and indirect object. Yes? Direct object, indirect object or complements which goes with, okay, which relates to, okay, of the action or state expressed in the participle, such as, for example, working round the clock, the firefighters finally put out the fire. Now, what is working? Working is the present participle, isn't it? Okay, round the clock, the firefighters finally put out the fire. Working round the clock is the participial phrase here. Okay? So children, this is the definition. A participle is a verbal that is used as an adjective and most often in ing or id. Okay? Ing or ed form. Okay? Which ends. The term verbal indicates that a participle is based on a verb and therefore expresses actions or a state of being. Okay? Now read the sentence. Einstein became a gifted amateur violinist, maintaining the skills throughout his life. The word ends in ing, is maintaining. Okay? So that is participle phrase. They function as adjectives. You know what is an adjective, which describes a thing or human being. Adjectives, participle nouns or pronouns. There are two types of participle, as you all know, present participle and past participle. Present participle ends in ing. Very good. Past participle end in ed, n, d, t, n or ne. Examples: eaten, saved, dealt, dealt. The present tense is deal. Okay, the past tense of deal is dealt. Seen and gone. Okay. Now read these sentences. Removing his coat, Jack rushed to the river. The participle phrase function as an adjective modifying Jack. Now, Jack is modified here. Removing is the participle. His coat, direct object of action expressed in participle. His coat here is the direct object of the action expressed in participle. Participle is the removing. Okay, the next. Dia noticed her cousin walking along the shoreline. Okay, now what is walking? Participle. Very good. Next. Along the shoreline. It is prepositional phrase as adverb. Okay? It is the prepositional phrase as adverb. This is your third example. Children interested in music early develop strong intellectual skills. Now, what is the participle here? Interested, which is past participle. Next, music. Direct object of action expressed in participle. Music is the direct object of action expressed in participle. And what is the adverb here? Early is the adverb. Now, participial phrase functions as an adjective modifying. What is modified here? Children is modified here. Children interested in music early develop strong intellectual skills. Okay, music is not modified here. Children is modified here. Okay. Now talking about the placement. In order to prevent confusion, a participial phrase must be placed as close to the noun it modifies as possible, okay? And the noun must be clearly stated. Now read the first sentence. Carrying a heavy pile of books, his foot caught on the step, okay? Now read the next line. Carrying a heavy pile of books, he caught his foot on a step. Now, in the first sentence, there is no clear indication of who or what is performing. As you can read it again, carrying a heavy pile of books, his foot caught on a step. Here it is not clearly mentioned what is being modified, whether the books or the foot, okay? In the next sentence, okay, is performing the action in the participle carrying, okay? Now, just read the second sentence. Carrying a heavy pile of books, he caught his foot on a step. Now, what is the participle here? Carrying is the participle. And what has been modified here? His foot is been modified here. Carrying a heavy pile of books, he caught his foot on a step. Okay? Now, talking about the punctuation. When a participial phrase begins a sentence, a comma should be placed after the phrase. Okay. Now, arriving at the store, comma, I found that it was closed. Washing and polishing the car, Frank developed sore muscles. Sore is like paining muscles, aching muscles. Okay. Now, you can see that arriving at the store, comma, okay, when a participial phrase begins a sentence, a comma should be placed after the phrase. So this is the phrase, this is the participial phrase, arriving at the store. What is the participle here? Arriving, okay. Now after the phrase, there should be a comma, and next I found that it was closed. Next, washing and polishing the car, Frank developed sore muscles, okay. Now children, look at the next point. If the participle or participial phrase comes in the middle of a sentence, it should be set off with commas only if the information is not essential to the meaning of the sentence. Okay, that is, the church destroyed by a fire was never rebuilt. Okay, it should be set off with commas only if the information is not essential to the meaning of the sentence. It is not essential, it is not important to the meaning of the sentence. Read the sentence. The church destroyed by a fire was never built. Okay. Now note that if the participial phrase is essential to the meaning of the sentence, no commas should be used. Now, example, the guy wearing the chicken costume is my cousin. Now, what is the participle here? Wearing is the participle here. Okay, now we are modifying the guy, okay, the boy, okay, the guy wearing the chicken costume is my cousin. Okay, we are saying that he is my cousin. Okay, the boy who is wearing the chicken costume is my cousin. You need not to add any comma here. Okay, so this is only when the meaning of the sentence, okay, that is, the meaning of the sentence is very essential. Then only you will not use any commas. Okay. Now, this is your next point. If a participial phrase comes at the end of a sentence, a comma usually precedes the phrase if it modifies an earlier word in a sentence, but not if the phrase directly follows the word it modifies. Which means, now just read the sentence. The local residents often saw Ken wandering through the streets. Now, it is the thing which follows the sentence, which is modified. I'll tell you, modifies an early word in the sentence, but not if the phrase directly follows the word it modifies. Now here, the phrase is directly following the word it is modifying. Phrase modifies Ken, not residents. Is that clear, children? The local residents often saw Ken wandering through the streets. Okay. Now here, the phrase is directly following the word it is modifying. What is modifying here? Modified here. Ken is modified here. Okay. So the local residents often saw whom? Ken wandering through the streets. So you need not to use a comma here. Now read the next sentence. Tom nervously watched the woman. alarmed by her silence. Okay. Now the phrase modifies Tom, not woman. Okay. The phrase is modifying Tom, not woman. Now what is the participle here, children? Alarmed is the participle. Now what is the participial phrase here? The last sentence is the participial phrase. That is, after comma is the participial phrase. Alarmed by her silence is the participial phrase. Okay. Now why are we using comma here? Because if a participial phrase comes at the end of a sentence, a comma usually precedes the phrase if it modifies an earlier word. If it is modifying the earlier word. Now, who is modified here? Tom is modified here. That's why we are using comma. Okay, a comma usually precedes the phrase if it modifies an earlier word in the sentence. Okay, Tom nervously watched the woman. Okay, alarmed by her silence. Alarmed by her silence is the participial phrase. But who is modified here? Tom is modified here. Tom is nervously watching it. Okay. So Tom nervously watched the woman alarmed by her silence. Now coming to recollecting part. Now what did we see first? A participle is a verb ending in ing, present, which is present, or ed, d, t, n, which is past participle, that functions as an adjective modifying a noun or pronoun. Now what is a participial phrase? Which consists of a participle plus modifiers, object or objects, and or complements, okay, which goes with that, which is related to that. Now the third one, participles and participial phrases must be placed as close to the nouns or pronouns they modify as possible, and those nouns or pronouns must be clearly stated. That is your third point. Okay. And the final point, a participial phrase is set off with commas when it comes at the beginning of the sentence. Second, interrupts a sentence as a non-essential element. Third, comes at the end of a sentence and is separated from the word it modifies. Okay? Dear learners, hope you have understood the participial phrases which we learned in the lesson, A Truly Beautiful Mind. Thank you, children.